It is the season. But which season is it? Let's figure it out. Alright guys, so as I said, it is the season, but which season is it? So I thought this would be a pretty cool little video to make, where we're going to talk about the seasons and possibly which season we're in now. If you're new here, welcome to Rolling with Tbone. My name's Tbone. I make motorcycle related content and really any kind of content that kind of strikes me. If you're old here, welcome back. You know where we're at. We're riding down the road, rolling along on the blue moon, which has made its triumphant return to the channel. The old 97 Dyna, which essentially is the oldest motorcycle I own, seeing as how I traded it for the FLT, and the Tour Glide, the Midnight Express, was the oldest bike I own. Now this one has that distinguished honor. But not to get sidetracked, let's talk about the seasons for a minute, can we guys? Of course, where we live, North Georgia, Southeast Tennessee, Western North Carolina, we fortunately get the option of all four seasons, which are, of course, winter, summer, spring, and fall. Right now, today's date as the recording of this video is April the 20th. And if you've noticed on April the 20th, if you'll look back on your calendar, it's a Wednesday, and we woke up this morning to a pretty hard frost. So that's got people kind of scratching their heads, because I don't know how good you can see them on camera, but those white blooms right there, that's dogwood blooms. So essentially, we have the four seasons, but we have other seasons within our four seasons. Now, truly, it is spring. Spring on the calendar has already began. We're seeing warmer weather, of course, 70s and 80s coming up over the next couple of days. But if you're feeling it in the morning time, unless you have the luxury of sleeping in till 9-10 o'clock in the morning or later, you notice that our mornings are still pretty cool. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about the seasons and what seasons that we might actually be in. So right now, as I said, we are firmly in spring. Spring has already begun as far as the calendar is concerned. Spring is going on right now. This is not a dress rehearsal. Welcome to spring. Everything's turning green. As you can see, the grass is getting greener. Trees are starting to bloom and throw out their pollen, because pollen is trying to kill us already. Pine putting out pollen. Oak is starting to bloom, so it's putting out pollen. Spruce is putting out pollen. But that's the pollen forecast. So let's talk about what our seasons are. Alright guys, so where we are right now is actually the end of dogwood winter. As I said earlier, you see them all over the place. You've seen the white blooms. Outside of the Bradford pear trees, the dogwood is the only other thing blooming right now. Now, before I get into talking to you about the dogwood, there's an old wives' tale. Some people call it wives' tale. I call it wise tale. I don't know which one is accurate, which one is the truth. But what I do know is that the old wives' tale is, now I heard this coming from my family that when I was a kid, I heard all of my family say this, that the dogwood, although it's small and it looks more like a bush, it is considered a tree. I can't confirm this or deny this. They say that the dogwood was what the cross was built out of. that Jesus hung on, and that the dogwood had a curse put on it to not grow to be a full-size tree anymore. Like I said, I cannot confirm that or deny that, but I thought it would be a cool thing to add in on this video. Let me know if you've heard that before, or if you have confirmed it or denied it, if it's not true, or if it's true. If you know, let me know. But anyway, we're coming to the end of dogwood winter, which means all the dogwoods are in full bloom. We're getting ready to go into, still being in spring, we're getting ready to go into, next will be Blackberry Winter. Blackberry Winter usually comes at the end of April, first couple of weeks of May. That's Blackberry Winter. If you're a gardener, you know that they tell you, the Old Farmer's Almanac tells you not to plant anything that can be killed by frost until after May the 14th, because you're still good for a good hard frost up till May the 14th. The second week of May, anytime past that, they say you're good for planting. The hard frost usually end in April, and you get light frost up in May, but I have seen hard frost in May. I have seen it frost so hard that it freezes the ground in May. So that part of the season right there is Blackberry Winter, and that's actually what we're getting ready to go into. I've been paying attention to the blackberry bushes, and I've noticed that the leaves are getting to be full on the blackberry bushes. I haven't seen the buds yet, so what you'll see, if you want to kind of check this and maybe learn a little bit about it if you don't know about it, you'll notice over the next couple of weeks, up till about the middle of May, next 10 to 14 days, you'll start noticing the blackberries bust open. They'll start blooming. And I don't consider it to be mid Blackberry Winter until the buds actually bust open and start blooming. But right now, we're coming to the end of dogwood winter. Like I said, dogwood winter. Essentially, yesterday was kind of the end of dogwood winter, and if you listen to the weatherman, they change the weather every 5 minutes, but I do know that we're going to have 70s and 80s temperatures over the next several days. And then if you'll look at the long-term forecast, you'll notice that by the end of next week, the temperature starts going back down. Then we start really getting into to Blackberry Winter. So that's what you've got during spring. You don't just have spring, you have dogwood winter and Blackberry Winter. Now, starting at the beginning of July, around July the 3rd, all the way till August 11th, is another season that is within the summer season. That's called the Dog Days of Summer. It's nationally recognized. The Dog Days of Summer starts in the south, July the 3rd, and it runs to August the 11th, I think. You can double check that, Google it. Now, there's an old wise tale that goes along with the Dog Days of Summer. Just like, you know, the dogwoods being the wood that the cross was built out of, that Jesus was crucified on. Now, the Dog Days of Summer, they say that if you have a sore or an open wound during the Dog Days of Summer, and I have tried this, guys, and it does work. I'm not going to call BS on this one and say that I can't disprove it, because it works. But if you let a dog lick your wound during the Dog Days of Summer, your wound will heal faster, and it will heal cleaner. I have experimented with that one, and it does work. And the Dog Days of Summer usually comes along at the hottest point of the summer. The end of the dog days, like I said, are about the second week of August. Now, from the second week of August up till October, you've got summer, which bleeds into fall. Now, when fall of the year happens, we jump into another season called Indian Summer. Now, Indian Summer lasts a short time. You'll notice in October it starts cooling off, and it'll actually get really cold. I've even seen it snow on Halloween night. That's the first signs of winter. Then it will progressively warm back up, and you go, well, winter just made a guest appearance, but it ain't sticking around. Okay, what you enter into there is Indian summer. And that usually lasts from about November the 11th up to the 20th. So the 2 weeks in the middle of November, it gets unseasonably warm again, and you're in the Indian summer season. Then from there, you just go into winter, recycle back to spring. But I just thought that was kind of interesting, because we grew up around it in the South. All the old timers will say, oh, it's dogwood winter, it's blackberry winter. Dogwood winter comes before blackberry winter, because like I said, if you notice, the dogwoods have bloomed. They're the white blooms that you see on the side of the road everywhere. Either that or the Bradford pears. So next will be, you're at the end of dogwood winter right now at April the 20th. And you're getting ready to get into blackberry winter. But I just thought that would be some cool content, kind of break down the seasons, because it seems like it's sporadic sometimes, and even I've said it over the last few years, it seemed like we're not experiencing the seasons. We just go from one extreme to the other. Like one day it's, you know, the end of the summer and it's 70 degrees, and then just boom, wholesale, the temperatures are freezing the next day. Or in the spring, you go from a really, really cold day to just boom, it's 95 degrees. Like it's just going from one extreme to the next. So yeah, I just thought that would be interesting for you guys. A little bit of knowledge if you don't know in the area, or if you've never paid no attention, or if you're new to the southeast area, southwest Tennessee, western North Carolina, northern Georgia. Just kind of a little bit of history about our area, the old wives' tales. You can look those up. Like I said, the dogwood one, I didn't do any research on it before I made this video, because I can't prove or disprove that. I don't think I've ever read in the Bible where it tells you specifically that the cross that Jesus was hung on was a dogwood tree. And some of that may have come from the time that Jesus was hung, which is around Easter. Of course, Easter is not about the Easter bunny. It's about rolling the stone away on the tomb of Jesus, and it was empty. On the third day, they had seen him rise. Now, according to what the Bible tells us, that happened during this time of the year that we're in right now. So the tree that they used to make his cross could have very well been a dogwood tree. Dogwood trees are not just indigenous to one area. They grow throughout the world. But like I said, I'd always heard that that was the tree that the cross was built out of, and that Jesus had cursed the tree to not grow into a full-size tree anymore. While most of your dogwood trees, you see them right there, they just look like bushes, but they're actually classified as trees. Just a little bit of something that is very interesting. And like I said, now when I was a kid, I would hear all this stuff and I would roll my eyes, because I'd be like, you know what, I have got things to do. I don't have time to learn about the seasons. All I know is I like it hot. I don't like being cold, and 44 years later, I like it hot. I don't like it cold. I don't like cold weather whatsoever. Fall is nice and all, but I don't like cold weather. I've never liked it, ever since I was a kid. And I guess, if I'm being truthful, some of that is probably because some of my best childhood memories that I cling to were in the summertime. The winter was just always gray and dull and not a happy time, So I kind of, my attitude kind of changes when winter comes around. And if you know, you know. If you don't, it's hard to explain it. But summertime, hanging out with all my cousins at my grandma Higgins' house in the summer. Everybody would come in on vacation. and all of our cousins would be together, and the family was one big unit, going to the Ducktown pool and swimming, or being in, you know, at home on Mobile Road, going to Tumbling Creek and swimming, hanging out with Matt Stevens and all my friends, and, you know, just summertime was my time. And that's where most of my memories lie, is within summertime. But some of my happiest memories are summertime memories. GoPro, stop recording. GoPro, stop recording. But other than that, guys, that's just kind of where I was at. I've tried out a new audio setup on my helmet. I've changed around my microphone list just a little bit, so I hope my audio's coming through good and clear. When I first got this helmet, I kind of had put the mouthpiece to the microphone directly in front of my mouth because I was afraid it wouldn't pick up because of the buffering that happens with this helmet. But so I hope it all came through. I'm doing voice commands on the camera and they're working, so I hope it's picking up my voice good enough to where you guys are understanding everything. But so what's going on outside of that, guys, is we're getting close to Memorial Day coming up in May. May the 28th, I think. I may be wrong because I've got Confederate Memorial Day coming up Monday, this coming Monday. But we've got Memorial Day coming up. That is the spring into summer giveaway, guys. If you and I've noticed that a lot of people aren't following the directions on the last video. So if you're watching this video and you don't know what I'm talking about, Ball Hootin' and Rolling with T-Bone is doing a summertime giveaway. T-shirt, gloves, sunglasses. All you got to do to enter to win is go back, watch the video. The keyword is Ball Hootin'. So if you take the keyword Ball Hootin' and go back to the original spring into summer video and comment the word Ball Hootin', you're entered for a chance to win the giveaway. So it doesn't cost you anything to enter to win. All it costs you is a couple of minutes of time to do it. Watch the video. So yeah, just a couple of minutes of your time, guys. That's all it takes, is to go watch the video and put the keyword in. Of course, Gene Smith won our wintertime giveaway. I'd like to see a bunch of people get entered for this one. We had pretty good entrance. You know, just comment the keyword Ball Hootin' and you're entered to win. We draw your name out of a hat Memorial Day weekend and you win. I'm trying to find a fire coming off Pocanty Hill. I can smell smoke like there's some kind of fire, but I can't see no flames nowhere. Tell you what, Polk County, on a different subject, are just not interested in paving their 4-lane and fixing it between Ducktown and Copper Hill. Jeez, this thing is beat to pieces. I don't think I've ever seen it this bad before, because I can remember when they repaved this. Now that's probably been 25 years ago. Man, this road needs some attention bad. I didn't realize how bad it was getting because I never really pay attention. But yeah, it needs some love. Polk County Road Department need to give this road some love. But yeah, we got that giveaway going on, guys, and I'm sure there's rides and stuff and poker runs and cut stuff coming up. If you've got a poker run, another thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about, if you're going to be doing a poker run and you would like me to cover your poker run and make an episode of Rolling with T-Bone with it, get a hold of me, let me know, make sure I can lock the dates down, because my schedule is already pretty well much, not completely full, but it is kind of full. So If you would like for me to make, get in on your, or you have an event going on where that you would like to get the word out on, if you'd like for me to put it in an episode of Rolling with T-Bone, just message me on Facebook and let me know, and we'll see if we can't get it worked out. But I'll tell you what, guys, I'm just going to enjoy the rest of my ride. Thank y'all for watching. Don't forget to find us on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Rolling with T-Bone on all 3 platforms. And guys, I'll tell you what, enjoy what weather's coming up. It's time to shake off the winter blues, guys. But I'll tell you what, till the next time, guys, y'all take care of yourselves, take care of each other. I'm T-Bone, and this has been Rolling with T-Bone.